college football just got hit with another major court ruling, and at the same time, Alabama has officially made its decision at quarterback. The NCAA is fighting to keep its eligibility rules in place, while Alabama is handing the keys to the offense to one of the most hyped young quarterbacks in the country. So what does this court ruling actually mean? And is Keelon Russell ready to lead Alabama? Let's get straight to it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to WestAtRest. We've got two major college football stories to talk about today. First, the NCAA just received a temporary victory in the fight over fifth-year eligibility. And secondly, Alabama has officially named Keelon Russell as its starting quarterback for the 2026 season. So, let's start with the court ruling. As federal appeals court has temporarily halted a lower court ruling that would have allowed thousands of college athletes to receive an additional season of eligibility. The case involves athletes from the high school class of 2022 who had already used 4 seasons of eligibility. A lower federal court has previously opened the door for those athletes to return for another season. But a few days ago, on August 21st, the U.S. 10th Circuit Court of Appeals granted the NCAA a stay, putting that decision on hold for now. So, this is where things get complicated. That doesn't mean that every athlete who received an individual order suddenly loses that eligibility. There are still other lawsuits and individuals restraining orders around the country allowing certain players to return. So right now, college football is dealing with a confusing situation where one court ruling can affect thousands of players while other courts are just making their own decisions. And the timing couldn't even been worse. The college football is literally here, is coming up this Saturday. Teams have already made their rosters, players have already transferred, and coaches have already been preparing for months. So, with a few comments by Dan Lanning, he was talking about how it's unfair. This shit's unfair. Because I think it's dumb. I wouldn't even say it's unfair. I think it's stupid. I don't know why these random judges are going after the NCAA right now like this. Especially when the season's about to start. Now these coaches have to deal with major eligibility questions. Like, are they going to expect more NFL players to come back that didn't get drafted this year? But the NCAA says its age-based eligibility rules are meant to create a more consistent system, while the athletes challenging the rules argue that the restrictions unfairly prevent them from competing. And this legal fight is definitely not over, so we'll see. So while the NCAA is dealing with their legal chaos, Alabama is just made one of their biggest decisions of the preseason. So let's get into the second topic. So I believe this decision is definitely going to have an impact on the SEC. So Alabama officially named Keelon Russell as starting quarterback. Russell won the job over Austin Mack after competing throughout the spring and fall camp. So I believe this is going to be a huge opportunity for Keelon. He was the most highly rated quarterbacks in 2025 recruiting class, and he entered Alabama with a lot of expectations. Last year, he barely saw any action. He played in 2 games, only completed 11 of 15 passes for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns before he redshirted. So, he's still pretty young. I don't really think he's still ready. To be honest, I think they're going to take it slow, but he did beat out Austin Mack. So the biggest thing that appears to separate them is that Russell is a dual threat quarterback. So I think that's really what they're going to play into this year. He can make plays with his arm, and he can also create space outside the pocket. So he's going to put a lot of the pressure on defenses with his legs. Reports also came out that Alabama indicate that his explosiveness and ability to make big plays helped him win the competition. So we'll see how Alabama fans are going to react to him this year. Last year, the Crimson Tide went 11-4, and they entered the season number 13 in the AP poll. So the biggest question of the day is, can Keelon Russell handle the SEC? I think he's very talented, so we'll see. He might need a few games. He might not. He might need a few years. But he did redshirt. He got some time, so we'll see. He hasn't started a college game yet, so his first career start is scheduled to be against East Carolina on September 5th. So it's not a tough opponent to face. Personally, I think this is one of the most interesting quarterback situations this college football preseason. But, I mean, Russell won the job. Alabama didn't just give it to him. Austin Mack probably did just give it to him. But that did tell me that Alabama wanted Keelon. They didn't, just give it to Mack. So, clearly he has some talent. So, let me know what you guys think below. If you enjoyed this college football update, hit that subscribe button. I'm covering college football news, predictions, rankings, reactions, all of that all season long. And definitely when week 0 comes up this Saturday, I'm going to drop a few videos. I'll see you in the next one.